Hey everyone, this is Alex from the Blind Car Garage. So this here is the front driver's side wheel on a 19 Mitsubishi Outlander Sport. That sounds lovely. Anyway, I'm doing brakes on here and I'm going to show you guys how I do it. So I got my impact. I haven't pulled this apart yet. I did the brakes on the other side, so I know what I need, so I ain't got to gather tools. All right, I think this thing's 6 No, 6 lug. It's weird. Yep, 6 lug little crossover. Not really sure why they did that. Supposedly the drive shafts on this, or CVs that is, are actually hollow. Alright, now the reason I chose this vehicle for this is it's like literally every other vehicle. I'm actually putting a tie rod on this side too. But that's neither here nor there. Now, some of these brake pads, you'll find that they are left-right oriented. These are not. It doesn't even matter. They're rough surface. Be careful. They can cut you and you can get metal shards in your hand because they're like partially metal, partially carbon, partially a whole bunch of other stuff. It's a lot. It's another thing not many people know you can do. We've got both wheels in this thing up on the tow truck. What we're going to start with is there's 2 bolts here, one on the back side on top, one on the back side on the bottom. They are lefty-loosey, righty-tighty. One there, one here, and these are weird bolts. I'll show you here in a second. Gotta get it at a better angle. That was my fault. Hope I've got you guys in a good angle to see this. Some shots are just harder than others. A weird noise. I guess one of the neighbors got an air horn. Alright, that one's out. These are weird. They've only got threads here at the end. The calipers actually slide along that so that they don't bind up. Because even loose, even tight, it's the same way. A gross sound. Alrighty, let's see how these look. Alright, now as you can see here, these do not have a lot of life left in them. This is when you want to change your pads. When it's down to just a little thicker than a quarter, you need to change. Because if you don't, it'll start cutting into this rotor surface. And for this car, that's well over $100 a piece. And that's if you can get it cut. You can do it for like $40 if you find a good guy to do it. But the thing is if it goes too far, you just can't cut it. Huh. I just noticed something actually. The other side, if I'm not mistaken, the calipers on the back, they might have just flipped the same calipers. Either that or I'm smoking something funny. You know, people often ask me, why do I do stuff like this? And it's the same answer every time. I love working on stuff because it's always... People are like, oh, it's too monotonous. No, it's not, because there's always a challenge that's going to come along that's going to keep you on your toes. And then the rest of it, sorry guys, is, well, I like the monotony of it in ways. It's a challenge that you get to take on every single job and feel accomplishment for. And on top of that, you, well, I want to put something out there on the internet that's better than what a lot of people are doing. It isn't so disgusting half the time. Women doing crazy things, men doing crazier things. It's insane. It really is. So I want to teach people and, you know, get them out there and working on stuff. If I can do it, so can anyone else. Anyway, back to the job. There's these little clips in here. They're called anti-vibration clips. There's one here and one here. They slide in across. These were intact. And then this is a special tool. What you do is you put this inside, and I'll show you in a second, inside the caliper, and you twist this. And as you can see, it opens up and spreads them fingers. We're going to need that for this caliper, because if you look here, that's distended. It will not go on. So what you do is, that's that piston you got to move. You got to make sure that it goes in straight, because if it does not go in straight, you can destroy a $100 caliper really quickly. Where's my other brake pad go? It's best to use your old brake pads as spacers. It would also help if I could find what I did with that other brake pad. What the heck to do with it? Yeah, well, not using that. Alright, so old brake pad at the back, new brake pad face out against the fingers, because this goes in here, and then you tighten and it shoves that piston back in. The reason I flip the caliper, not the caliper, but the pad around like that, if I have to use a new pad, and a lot of times you do to get the right space, depending on the tool you use, is because it can put dents in it if you mess up and do something wrong. But I don't like taking chances. Not like that. The kind of chances I like is it going to throw a rod in this next pass? Do-do-do-do-do. Cool. Oh, that's right. I had to thunk for a second. There's that little clip right there. They're a pain in the butt. But they keep things from rattling around. You'll get a chattering noise sometimes when you go over bumps, because this whole thing moves with the wheel. Not every vehicle does it. But for a customer vehicle, you need to make sure they're intact. And as you can see, that went on significantly easier that time. Now it's back to these bolts. They're a little bit of a pain in the butt, but that is okay. You make sure your boot's straight here. You want to get this thing through the caliper and into that boot, wiggle it around until you get it in there. There we go. And warning, this dust will stain anything and everything. And these do have grease on these pins. It's a special kind of grease. Do not grease your rotors or your pads. It's a bad idea. Very bad idea. You will die. Lefty loosey, righty tighty. Got it right. Going in? Yep, okay. Now, my suggestion is look up your torque measurements for your vehicle, read your service manual, and watch YouTube videos, this one and others. Now, I'm going to say this. Make sure that you have somebody with you who knows what they're doing. I have to say that because I don't want getting no one hurt because they listen to what I said and didn't follow through, or it was different, or this and that, or look, I don't want to do that. You know better. Either way, this job is done. Shy of putting a rim on. Y'all let me know what you think down in the comments. God bless everyone. See if I can do this without knocking over my camera set. Probably not. We're gonna try though. Where is it?